Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite supplements, my top 3 for muscle building, that is. And yeah, before I get into that, my disclaimer: I am not a doctor and I am not a chemist. I do not encourage the use of any substances, legal or illegal, and this video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, coming in at number 3, probably just as expected for most people, it's going to be protein. Simply because I like using it for supplementation purposes. I think that easily digestible whey protein or casein protein is extremely useful. But for my purposes, I typically like whey protein over casein. Casein tends to make me feel like I got something sticking around in my gut. I guess some people, that's what they like because it makes them feel fuller for longer. Oh, I'll also ignore the shine on my face. I have some beard oil on there. My face was quite dry, so I wanted to apply some. And then, yeah, so overall, I think protein is a good thing to have for anybody in their arsenal when it comes to nutrition. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Number 2, not that surprising, is going to be creatine. So creatine, obviously we know to have so many different ways of enhancing the human body. The unfortunate side to creatine is about 20 to 30% of the population estimated is going to be resistant to it, but for the 70 to 80% of the population, it helps to replenish the energy stores and make working out more efficient. It also seems to reduce myostatin directly or indirectly, we don't really know, but overall I think that plays a huge factor in people who are trying to get into supplementation without taking something really hardcore. Creatine definitely could play a role. And then I also want to mention the fact that creatine can help hold water a little bit, because holding water can actually be extremely beneficial for getting heavier lifts. It's part of the reason that bodybuilders who are on drugs that are wet steroids can often do heavier lifts, like anadrol and dianabol, simply because it's the muscles are more full. The idea is that you have extracellular hydration and you can push through it. Obviously, creatine will do nothing to that extent, but it still overall is one of the best supplements. It's most researched, and it's has high amounts of safety and efficacy data. Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything bad to say about creatine. The only thing is you kind of have to get it in supplementation form, because if you're trying to get it from any of your plant or meat sources, unless you want to eat like a crazy amount of meat, you're kind of out of luck, because creatine is not found readily in food sources. That's why supplementation for creatine was even thought of in the first place. Protein's a little different. Sure, you can get protein from your diet, but with creatine, you can't. So that's part of the reason it's on my number 2, and that's why protein was number 3. So number 1, this might surprise some people, I would have to say, is the andros, the pro-hormones, specifically more for andro. I like anything that can help to artificially raise testosterone. That isn't illegal, obviously, and they sell it in creams. They obviously have the one under the tongue. I think Iron Mag Labs, I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was, because I actually really like their products. Theoretically, I haven't tried. I think I've tried one of them maybe a long time ago in the past, but I haven't tried a lot of their stuff. I think their stuff is really cool, and I think it's very high quality from what I've heard. People who use 4-andro to try and use it to boost their testosterone and such, even people just on TRT, boost your testosterone. It's artificial. I need to be clear. It's not a testosterone booster. It is downstream turning into testosterone in the body, specifically 4-andro is. And they've done blood tests with Iron Mag Labs from the creams that you can just rub on your skin, and it increased their testosterone levels, I think, like 3 times what a normal man's is, which is, that's insane. It's amazing. And the thing is, andros, anything taken orally has the propensity for liver stress when it's hormonal, because it has to go through some sort of way of getting into the bloodstream. So the idea is with Iron Man Labs in particular that you could put it on your skin and you would at least bypass some of the liver problems, or at least like first pass of the liver. And I think that that is an ingenious idea. I mean, a lot of people do this for other things, and it didn't really work out. Like they had injectable D-ball at one point, not Iron Man Labs, just in general, people invented injectable D-ball, and then it really didn't show to be that much safer for the liver versus oral D-ball. So very controversial subject if it actually helps the liver at all. Overall, I think it probably would, but I'm not entirely sure, of course. And so, I mean, there's also High Tech Pharmaceuticals who has their oral for andro. There's Blackstone Labs, which has Chosen Force, or not Chosen. I think it's Force or something like that. They have their own brand, their own line of hardcore muscle builders. I say hardcore because they're obviously on the hormonal side of things, and people don't always want to get into that. And I think andros are, I mean, they're essentially, like I said in another video, they're essentially legal steroids. They come in with a lot of issues that people can deal with, but specifically for andro, since it converts into estrogen as well, seems to be the most efficacious in my opinion. There's not really a lot of data behind it, and I would love to see some data behind it because I think it's such a cool supplement. And overall, I really like it. I think it's really cool. I've used 4-Andro in the past. I'm not afraid to admit it. I only used it in oral form. I would love to try Iron Mag Labs' topical form. I think it's really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for my top 3 supplements. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. Remember to keep those shoulders back and down when you lift. And until next time, don't just have a good one, have a great one.